Hey, what's up guys? It's your man Yam again, back with another massive guide for Nightingale's new Realms Rebuilt update. Since the release, I've spent a decent amount of time to explore the brand new campaign, taken care of epic new bosses, crafted myself new weapons and armor to basically be ready for the endgame. But this is where I spent a whole lot more time. To hunt legendary foes and also farm that best loot is something I simply couldn't get enough of. So today I want to share all the strategies with you guys I used to target farm some of the rarest or difficult to find enemies, maximize the yield from them, and also upgrade crafts from tier 4 to 5. This endgame farming guide filled with tips and tricks will help you get everything in no time, so let's get right to it. Before we get started, I want to say a couple words. I've been playing Nightingale for over 200 hours now, and that's more than 100 from the Realms Rebuilt update alone. Honestly, I think the devs really nailed it with this one, as the improvements and additions it came with made the game so much better since the release. Very much looking forward to the new biomes and creative modes also scheduled for the future, so Inflection Games, thank you for delivering such an epic update. I'm also honored to say that they decided to sponsor today's video. There is really nothing better than creating content for a game you love. If you're new to the game, check it out on Steam with my link in the description down below. Timestamps can be found right there as well for everything we talk about today. Alright, so let's begin with tier 4 essence farming. Already shared how important this is for endgame crafting, but especially upgrading your gear to the highest level, so you can maximize both damage and survival capabilities. For this type of farming, I like to focus on ascended swamp realms. These are much smaller compared to a forest or desert realm, while if you play in ascended Antiquarian swamp or astrolable swamp cards, these also come with more peaceful and better POIs. If you look at glooms, these usually have a lot of occupation events. Hunts and herbarium have many foes in there. It's important you do this on the highest difficulty possible, Nightmare, because then the tier 4 essence rewards for completing events is gonna be the highest. Even if you're not yet geared for this, you're totally fine, as we won't have to deal with any enemies. Anyways, 220 difficulty. Sounds pretty challenging, right? Well, let me show you how easy this actually is. If we open up the map, you can see that we instantly get a nice amount of POIs around us. Bestillas of Agility, 2 of them right here. We've got a Bastilla of Insight and also an Aid event. For all these, you don't need to engage combat or deal with enemies, while you want to avoid the infestations at all times. So let's just place a pin on all the neutral ones, which are going to be interesting to check out. So that's already the first one right here. Only took us a couple seconds to get there. The place where we have to complete it is right underneath us. There we go, that's already a 100 tier 4 essence after being in this realm for just a couple seconds. Now we can fly to the next POI. From my experience, the larger structures usually come with a nice reward of 100 tier 4 essence, while the smaller ones normally come with like 50, but all of them are super simple to complete. These Bestillas of Insight, also very simple to complete. You just want to run around the pillars, and you should be able to grab that extra 25 to 50 tier 4 essence in just a matter of seconds as well. That's number 3. And voila! We found another Bastilla of Agility after just a couple minutes in, which gives us another 100 tier 4 essence. But in general, what I like to do is just quickly fly in a circle across the map, so you can quickly check out all the different POIs in the area. This one, very simple to complete, as you can see. We're gonna need rock sticks, plant fiber. Voila! Challenge completed as the dust settles. Right now we can interact with the chest right here and get our hands on another tier 4 essence. We could have picked up another 200 tier 4 essence right here, would have given us 650 in total already. Anyways, after you feel like you've explored the majority of the map and taken all those neutral POIs, let's say, you can head back to your respite realm, close the portal and play another card to continue your adventures and farm more tier 4 essence. Right now though, we have more than enough to upgrade multiple items to epic quality. So let's check out my next type of farming, which I think is amazing to hunt specific Fabled and Apex creatures. Target farm the best resources to craft top tier armor and of course also other items. I mean, if we look at this chitin right here of the Fabled Widowed Spider, comes with increased range damage. If you're lucky, you can even find Fabled Harpies with this, comes with even better stats. Beelzebors, great for melee damage builds, but if you want to have more survivability, you should go for Leporidans. More about all the locations for these creatures in a second. For specifically the Widower Spider, I have an Ascended Astrolable Swamp prepared. I also placed some traps in front of it, so I know this is my hunt realm I like to focus on to target farm this creature. But if we enter it, these type of realms always come with 3 fabled creatures. If I open up the map, you can see right here that we have 1, 2, and a 3rd crown right there. But I also have lodestars in every corner of the world. So if we want to farm the Widowed Spider, we first have to find it. So let's quickly go and check out the northeast, as we have 2 different ones right next to each other. So right here, that's already the Ox, Tusk the Brutal, but a little bit further away, I think we will have the Spider. There we go. Noro, the Weaver of the Spheres. So, what you want to do next is remember this location. You can always place, like what I like to do, scissors around it, so you know that this is not the one you want to focus on. Even more interesting, what we can do first is take it down. Now we get that nice Fabled Ox pelt and everything. So right now I am 100% certain it spawned in the bottom left of the map because we didn't have a crown right there. So this is when I like to place scissors around them. So we know we don't want to focus on this. They usually don't walk around that much. The next crown, this is also one we didn't touch, will be the Leporidan. So I'm also going to place scissors around it. So we want to ignore these 2 spawns. We exclusively want to focus on this specific crown, which we can now start target farming. So we're just going to get close to the spider. By the way, before you take out the animals, you first want to place down a root chromic transmuter. Always like to have these resources with me, and play a Hunter Eminent card, which I already have active. But this one increases the yield gathered from these slain creatures, while it also increases the damage you deal to the weak points. Now we're going to search for the spider. We've got it right there. So check it out. We've got that sweet plus 10% range damage, and actually 12 of those, while we also picked up some meats. But right now, if we open up the map, another spider should instantly spawn. We've got the Leporidan still right there, the Ox right there. So that right there is going to be my spider, very close to one of my lodestars. And since I have lodestars in every corner of the world, I can easily travel in between every single one of them. You even want to assign your respite realm to the center, so it's going to be even easier. You just click travel back to respite. You are right next to your portal. Now we choose southwest, and this should easily bring us to the spider's location, which is only a couple meters away from us. It's very important you think twice about this, because if you have your respite set in a different realm you don't have portals to, well, you will instantly lose access to your main base, so don't mess this up. We're gonna harvest this creature, open up the map, travel back to respite, open the map once again, search for that crown, and yes, there we go, southwest. So now we're just gonna make sure we fly to the right direction. I always like to shoot one in the back so they are aware and they will expose their weak spot with the first attack they want to do. Open up the map, travel back to respite, search for that crown once again, instantly right next to the southwest lodestar. Oh, look at that. This is, yes, how farming these creatures can be super efficient. But yeah, as long as you keep the other fabled creatures alive, you should always be able to find a new spawn of the one you're hunting for. So after just a couple minutes farming, we got a whopping total of 81 fabled chitin with that sweet range damage, but also the schnacks that come with these sweet bonuses. Now you're probably thinking, all these hides and chitins are just tier 4, so is this as good as the tier 5s from, for example, Humbaba from the Apex Vaults? Well, let me show you a trick how you can actually upgrade these to tier 5. If we interact with the tanning station and choose chitinous hide, we can go for that widower spider. Let's make like 4 of these. Right now, the chitin will be turned into hides, which you can use for various types of crafts. But then if we choose leather, we can throw in that hide, which we've just created, which will come with the exact same stats, by the way, so still tier 4. But just like with lumber, which you can turn into gilded lumber with ingots to improve the stats, which then turns it into tier 5. We've got some tier 5 sapplewood right here with 20% range damage. Well, the exact same thing can be done with leather. If you focus on reinforced leather, throw in the widowed spider one, combine it with, for example, a Nightingale for increased range damage, you're gonna have amazing stats, which you can use for future crafts. Also tier 5. Tier 5 cloth, a little bit more difficult to get, as we're gonna need threads. And threads can be made from fibers, not just plant fiber, but also animal fibers. So if we visit the tanning station, check out animal fiber, this is where we can also throw in that meat of the spider. Then go to the textile station, create some threads with the widow spider one. Now we can make cloth, also with this spider thread. Let's make 3. Now we can also make lining with the widower spider cloth and widower spider threads. This craft will take some time, but now the power of these two items is combined, makes it even more powerful. Lining not used for a whole lot of crafts, while cloth can be upgraded also to durable cloth, just like the reinforced leather and gilded lumber. So say if we throw in a tier 5 Fabled Humbaba cloth, combined with that lining without spider, we add up all these bonuses, which makes it a top tier item of tier 5. I don't recommend you to combine melee and ranged damage bonuses though. Gonna make your build weird, but still, this just shows how many options there are in Nightingale's in-depth crafting system. I've spent way too much time to target farm specific fabled creatures, document where I found every single one of them, so you can search specific realms and target farm them yourself. Would be amazing if you could spare 1 second of your time, hit that like button and share your research in the comments down below, as well as my work is still in progress. But here is everything I found so far. In the desert, all an ascended hunt realm by the way, I was able to find Louisi, Divider of Nations, an elephant, Gurley, Automaton Rook, Garfin, a Scorpion, Tarasen, Locust, Tegal, the Hexam Mongrel, and Stroch, minion of Lucimis. I think Hexam Mongrel hides are pretty nice for maximum HP and stamina regen. In my opinion, the desert loot wasn't amazing, so I primarily focused on hunting both swamp and forest creatures. This is where I found fables with amazing stats actually. Especially Naru the Weaver of Spheres, a spider with that nice range damage bonus to its chitin. Tusk the Brutal, also an interesting ox to hunt for, not in Hunt Realms but Herbarium or Astrolable for example. Comes with a nice attribute bonus of maximum HP but also increased weight if you want to maximize your carrying capacity, let's say. While Blood the Elder Spoil, only found in Antiquarian and Herbarium, drops Bakok Fish Goat Hide with maximum stamina and increased movement speed. Then we also have the Forest Realms. Miternes, the Mother of Webs, one Deathweaver Spider, not similar to the Naru Weaver of Spheres, but also the Beelzebor or Warthog, Mog and Pyrithan Plague. This one can increase your melee damage. Camazotz the Wrathful, these Leporidons or Velociraptor kangaroos is what I like to call them, come with a very nice type of hide that increases both maximum HP and stamina. Very nice for a balanced loadout for the endgame. But if we quickly get back to the swamp sheet, Harpy Queen, question mark, well, this one unfortunately cannot be target farmed as it simply doesn't spawn as fabled creature. It does come with a very nice hide with increased range damage, movement speed and stealth rating, which is actually much better compared to the fabled chitin of the Widow Spider. Again guys, share your research about this in the comments down below. Would be awesome if we can gather more information with the community, so farming for the best resources is gonna be even easier. But again, the Humbabas or Fabled Humbabas, these apex creatures can be pretty challenging to deal with or difficult even to find. So let me quickly show you how I like to target farm every single one of them. Let's start off with the Sun Giant, which drops these amazing palisadic edged ingots with injury resist and a whole lot of melee damage. But for specifically tier 5, what you want to do is open up a Ascended Hunt Desert. This is a place where you can hunt for a ton of unique fabled creatures, but also the Sun Giant. If you want to make it easy mode, you can even check it out on Explorer difficulty, because the difficulty doesn't matter. And wait a second, right at the spawn we instantly find this creature. Let's first place our portable Realmic Transmuter and also play a Duelist card, which is going to make taking down this bad guy a whole lot easier. By the way, if we open up the map, you can see that this one comes with 6 different Fabled creatures. All these crowns on the map. So these are different ones you can target farm with the method I shared with you guys earlier. Anyways, here we have it, the Sun Giant. Probably overkill with the Duelist card, as I can just simply one-shot it. But here we go, Palladic Edged Ingots of tier 5, Amber Gems, etc. But the nice thing is you can also target farm this creature. If we use our spyglass, we can check out all the enemies in our surroundings, but also another Sun Giant. Really doesn't matter how far away it is. It's possible that it's even in the very back. Well, we can just fly to it and take it down once again. So we've got some Fabled Locusts right here, but also the secondary Sun Giant. So, ciao kasbaikas is what we say. Number 3. Thanks for the essence. So yeah, you can tell that this is a super efficient method to target farm that sweet tier 5 Palladic Edged Ingot. But let's check out the next boss in line, Elder Eoten. For this one, you also want to play a Ascended Hunt card. This time a Forest, also on any type of difficulty, and reset the realm. Alright, so if we open up the map, you can see that we've got a Hunter Eminent card played, so we will deal more damage against those weak points and gain more resources from all these apex creatures. We've got 6 in the forest, which also makes this an amazing place to target farm for different resources. Anyways, right now, we also want to search, just like we did with the Sun Giant, and search for that Hold Elder Eoten. That one right there, though, is just a Hold Eoten. We are here for the big tree though, which can be pretty difficult to find with the spyglass as it doesn't pop up from across the map. What I like to do in this case is use a hunting knife with an enchantment called Track Legend. If we cast it, it will lead us to legendary creatures in this realm, and check it out, just a couple hundred meters further we find this unique shaped tree with also an offering altar, but if we use the spyglass we will know that it's the Elder Eoten. But let's play a Duelist card, so it's gonna be a whole lot easier to take out this tree. Also, eat a couple snacks and start swinging that axe. There we go. Wow, before it was able to get out of the ground, it was already gone. Right now we can start harvesting that sweet, precious loot. Check it out. The Elder Eoten wood comes with a whole lot of health regen and some stamina regen, while the regular variant comes with maximum stam and critical strike damage. Same counts for the hearts, some different stats right here. Then we also have the legendary Humbaba or Jana, which also comes with amazing stats for crafting. As you can see, maximum HP, melee damage and poison resist. This is the regular variant. Humbaba is probably the easiest and, in my opinion, also the best one to target farm, as it comes with amazing resources for crafting armor. This one can be found in the Ascended Hunt Swamp, so also open one of those. Again, very much recommended to play on Explorer difficulty, as all the stats will be the same regardless of difficulty. So here we are. First thing, open up the map, check out that minor realm card. It's usual bad news. So just place that Realmic Transmuter and play a Hunter Eminent card found in the watch. Now, if we open up the map, we can start target farming all these crowns, the fabled creatures with the method provided earlier, but we are here for Humbaba. Just like with the Fabled Giant, you want to check your surroundings, and normally, there we go, we should be able to spot it from anywhere. Swamps are pretty small, so it shouldn't take too long before you stumble upon Humbaba. I can already hear him in the distance. Oh yes, he is right there. Looks like a pretty scary foe, but with a Hunter's Eminent card, it's actually super easy to take him out. There we go. We even get attacked by some frogs, but as you can see, right now we get a ton of resources when we farm this legendary creature. Check it out, we've got our hands on 41 Humbaba hides, 40 bones, and also 61 meats. Right now we can take out our spyglass and search for another one, as it will instantly respawn. And look at that, we've got one right next to us. So we can start farming for numero dos. So if you want to target farm this creature, just stay in the hunt realm. You don't have to reset it. Take out your spyglass and focus on one after the other. Check it out. Right now I have over 300 of the meats, the bones, and also a nice amount of hides. Well, it's also important you focus on the slightly better variant, the Fabled Humbaba, which also comes with melee damage. This one can actually be done for all the different ones. If you create a Fabled Desert, that would be the Fabled Sun Giant, the Forest Fabled Elder Eoten, and the Swamp would be Fabled Humbaba, you can farm for these even better bosses. You can also open up the map, travel to the watch, and check out the 3 portals found right there. These are always on the regular difficulty, level 100, but if you open up one of these vaults, you can actually scale it down, reset the realm, and make it a whole lot easier. Be noted though that it will not always be an upgrade based on the vault variant. Palisatic etched ingots from the regular Sun Giant come with melee damage and injury resist, while the Fabled Sun Giant comes with magic power and maximum stamina. So in my opinion, you shouldn't focus on every single one of them. Alright, so there you have it, all the strategies I apply to target farm specific resources for the endgame in Nightingale. If you enjoy the content, a like would be amazing. Share your thoughts in the comments down below as well. Again, a huge shout out to Inflection Games for sponsoring today's video. Right now, it's 4 AM out. I want to wish you an amazing day. I'll check you in the next video or live stream. Peace.